everyone, and welcome to Metagame Mastery, where it's not just about what the card does, but how it impacts the game. Where the Spark preview season is starting to wind down, and we're getting amazing new cards, including ones where Niv-Mizzet actually unites the Guilds of Ravnica. If you enjoy this content, click that like button, and be sure you're subscribed to get access to all our latest videos. Without further ado, big time, go time! Let's go. Contentious plan is 2 CMC, 1 colorless, and a blue for a sorcery, proliferate, and draw a card. So a comment, I really like this in Limited, just allowing you to +1 the loyalty of all your Planeswalkers and +1/+1 counters in play, and it replaces itself. Centaur Nurturer is 4 CMC, 3 colorless, and a green for a 2/4 Centaur Druid. When it enters the battlefield, gain 3 life. You can also tap it to add 1 mana of any color. So mana ramp on turn 4 is bad. It just comes too late for it to be significant help to you. What I'm excited about with this card is that we're seeing more life gain. I was really starting to get worried that Johnny's Pridemate would have nothing to synergize with other than a Johnny. Top of that, this could be potentially decent color fixing if you decide to get really nuts and say draft or sealed. Maybe at your pre-release your colors are spread a little too thin and you decide to go 3 or 4 colors. It might be worth including. Outside of that, it's just a bad card. Pledge of Unity is 4 CMC, 1 colorless, green, and a white. For an instant, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. You gain 1 life for each creature you control. Once again, more synergies with the Johnny's Pridemate. And this one's pretty decent, allowing you to pump up your entire board and potentially get a big life gain boost later in the game. Bond of Discipline is 5 CMC, 4 colorless, and a white for a sorcery. Tap all creatures your opponents control. Creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. Once again, finally, we're seeing some life gain. And on a very powerful sleep style effect. This is going to make for a great finisher and Limited. And on top of that, the art's sweet because we get to see Orzhov and Azorius uniting for the first time. Bond of Flourishing is 2 CMC, 1 colorless, and a green for a sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a permanent card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. You gain 3 life. Okay, this is the last time I'm going to bring it up. Life gain, a Johnny's Pridemate synergies. Thank God this is actually in the set. On top of that, this is fine deck thinning. If you're running a little bit low on decent permanents, this is a good way for you to get through your deck. And from a flavor perspective, we get to see Simic and Selesnya pair up, and that's pretty cool. Bond of Insight is 4 CMC, 3 colorless, and a blue for a sorcery. Each player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard. Return up to 2 instant and or sorcery cards from your graveyard to your hand. Exile Bond of Insight. So I like this one. It's card advantage with additional card selection and some mill. That's pretty powerful in Limited. And Dimir and Izzet, yeah, this is the card for me. Bond of Revival is 5 CMC, 4 colorless, and a black for a sorcery. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste until end of turn. So this is very reminiscent of Rise from the Grave. It has much more immediate impact, giving it haste. Of course, it doesn't turn the creature into a zombie, so you don't have those synergies, but it all depends on the deck you're building. It's too expensive to see play in Eternal formats anyways. There are much cheaper options for reanimate shenanigans, but I'm interested to see how this plays out in Limited. Also, we get to see Rakdos and Golgari team up. Very cool. Jace's Triumph is 3 CMC, 2 colorless, and a blue for a sorcery. Draw 2 cards. If you control a Jace Planeswalker, draw 3 cards instead. So at worst, it's a concentration, and that's really good in Limited all on its own. At best, you're getting 3 cards for 3 mana. That's pretty good economy. I like this a lot in Limited, and it's going to be an instant staple in Jace Vryn's Prodigy EDH decks. If you've never had to play against this deck in EDH, pray that you never do. Firemind Vessel is 4 of any color for an artifact that enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap it for 2 mana of any colors. So in most decks in EDH, you would rather have an Hedron Archive or a Thran Dynamo. They're just better because they do stuff immediately, and one of them potentially draws you cards. But in really color-heavy decks, especially 5-color decks, this is going to be great mana fixing. And in that instance, this is a great addition to the format. Niv-Mizzet Reborn. Finally, the leak is confirmed. And on top of that, being able to see this art without any blur, just crisp and clear, it is phenomenal. If you haven't watched that video, he's 5 CMC, 1 mana of each color for a 6/6 legendary dragon avatar with flying. When he enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards to your library. For each color pair, choose a card that's exactly those colors from among them. Put the chosen cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This guy's great, and I don't think I did a deep enough dive in the leaks video about how great he is anyways. First of all, in limited, in standard, this guy's basically never going to see play unless there's like some sort of janky combo to cheat him onto the battlefield. So 98% of the time, this will be a dud card. But in Commander, this guy gets a little bit nuts. First, he's going to be a great addition to Dragon decks and Ramos Dragon Engine for different reasons. Dragon decks are going to love him because they can put him in play, get a nice size dragon on the board, but on top of that, he digs through the deck, gets you some card advantage, and helps you find the Dragonlords from Tarkir. In Ramos, the Dragon Engine, he puts 5+1/+1 counters on Ramos so that you can go ahead and pop off his 10 mana producing ability, and on top of that, you get some card advantage, maybe dig into something to spend that 10 mana on. As a commander himself, you could make a guild-based deck, maybe abusing flicker triggers to get his enter the battlefield ability again and again and again. And that would actually be a cool, flavorful commander deck that I'd really be interested in both playing and seeing. And then lastly, Josh Lee Kwai might want to consider swapping out Chromat for this so that he has a functional commander for his not actually Chromat but Nekusar deck. Well, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this content, click that subscribe button so you get access to all our latest videos. This has been Bennett Game Mastery. Peace!